Hello, elementary families. This is Mr. Warren. I hope and pray that you're doing well. Please know during this time that we are constantly praying for you. We are praying for your family. We're praying for the health of your family, the health of our community. One of the key philosophies at Berean is called Kingdom Education. In Kingdom Education, we identify that the chief outcome of equipping students is so that they can serve God and serve other people. Jesus talked about this in the book of Matthew, how that the entire law can be summarized into 2 commandments, and that's loving God and loving people. This goes into our mission statement. This goes into our expected student outcomes as a school. We desire to have our students to be servant leaders, to be agents of salt and light in a community that needs to know who God is. Each November, we have an opportunity to do just that. Every November, we undertake a service project. In the past, we've undergone many worthy causes, and this year is a little bit unique due to a lot of the restrictions that are currently in place and precautions that many organizations are taking. There are restrictions this year on things that can be donated, as well as volunteers that can help. This year, I went to the teachers with a unique idea. I was especially burdened about a specific need in our community, and I would like to bring it to your attention. As a school, we have 2 primary service projects that we are going to be going to help with. And then there's one that our church is currently doing, and we would encourage any family that desires to partner with our church, and I'll explain that in just a moment. The first service project that I would like to bring to your attention is regarding UNC Children's Hospital. The Children's Hospital helps families and their children with a variety of sicknesses. Specifically this year, I would like for us as an elementary department to be a blessing to those families who are battling childhood cancer. I have some documentation that I'm going to be sending home with your child, and it should also be attached to this email that identifies some of the statistics regarding childhood cancer. During this time of COVID, and we certainly do not want to diminish any families that are affected by COVID, because we know there are many, even within our own school community, it's very easy to overlook other people that are in need. And this is one particular need that I would like for us as an elementary school to help our school community with. Anytime that we have a community service project, I desire to have the greatest impact as possible. And I talked with UNC Children's Hospital a few weeks ago, and they are also facing some of the very same restrictions. And so they've asked for us as a school to help in specific ways. Families that are affected by childhood cancer often have to travel out of town. In many cases, they have to travel for extended periods of time. And so we're partnering with UNC Children's Hospital to help the meets and needs of those families. In the documentation that is attached to this email, as well as the paper that's going to go home, they identified 3 primary ways that we can be a blessing to families that are at their hospital and that are undergoing treatment of various kinds. And by the way, the UNC Children's Hospital does help with childhood cancer. It also assists families in a variety of other childhood needs, and it's one of the primary research centers here in North Carolina, specialty areas. There are 3 ways that are identified that UNC said that we could help. First of which is by an Amazon wish list. There is an active Amazon wish list that stays online, and you'll find the link attached in the documentation to this email, and it's constantly updated. It could be something very simple as the day-to-day needs of a family. It could also be games. It could also be movies, things that kind of help families pass the time as their child is undergoing tests and staying there at their hospital. And with this, there's an Amazon wish list that you can go online and you could see what the highest priority is. And you could also be able to donate. And if you have $5, if you have $8, you have $10, there's a variety of needs. If you as a family feel especially blessed and want to be a blessing to people, you can do more than that. And so I would encourage you to go check that link out. And they're very clear in saying that these do not just go to childhood cancer, but they also go to any family that is affected as a whole. And the second thing is gift cards. And if you think about those who are at the hospital, they're away from their homes, they're away from their families, and in many cases they're there for a day or two or for an extended day of testing. And so because of this reason, they said that gift cards are especially appreciated. There are, you can think about places like Walmart and Target where families need to go and get supplies because they're going to be in town for a lot longer than what they planned. It also could be a restaurant because they have been in there all day long. And so because of the time and distance involved away from home, families can use these gift cards as a family and to meet their needs, especially during a time that they definitely need some help. So the first thing is an Amazon wish list. The second thing is gift cards that can be sent directly there. And then also monetary donations. They've identified 4 different funds that specifically go to help people. If you were saying you wanted to make a targeted difference, if you're specifically wanting to be a blessing and help in a specific area, they've identified 4 funds that someone can make a monetary donation to. And this would be for general support, for patient or financial, a family financial assistance, for child life activities, or for the hematology and oncology department, which that would very much be a blessing to those families with childhood cancer. But there are several different funds that someone can give to. They also gave a form, of which that form will be attached to this email. It's called a gift in kind form. We understand by reading James that pure religion, pure and undefiled religion, is helping the fatherless and helping the widows. Truly, the idea of ministering to families in the purest form is helping other people who can give you nothing in return. And this is an opportunity for us to do that. Typically, as a school, we're able to identify, we're able to see what we're able to donate before we hand it over, and we maybe even sometimes selfishly can look at everything that we've been able to do and pat ourselves on the back and hand it over. But really, this year is unique in that we're not really going to see that. They have offered that if you as a family wanted to fill out a gift in kind form, and this would be a monetary donation. This would be if you send a gift card and mail it to them and the address is listed in the paperwork, that it's a tax deductible receipt. And as well as an organization, we would also be able to identify how many families actually were able to be helped by our school. And so what we're going to do, there really is no technical cutoff date for this because this is an ongoing need. It's always a need for their hospital. However, we're going to identify through the end of November. So November 30th is going to be kind of the last day that we emphasize it as a school, although obviously you could help them at any time in the year. But this will be the time frame in which we are actually emphasizing it. So it actually does take place over fall break as well. The second piece is coin wars. And if we're honest, when we think about the donation piece, a lot of times it's us as parents. We know that our kids don't necessarily have bank accounts. And so for the most part, it's going to be adults that are helping families that are in need. But we want to find a way to actually have the children involved. And so we're going to do a coin war. And with this coin war, in a spirit of friendly competition, we're actually going to want our students to bring in some change. And we encourage students to participate in helping others by bringing in loose change from November 9th to November 9th. This will be starting on Monday through November 20th. And a positive point will be given for every silver coin. So 10 points for every dime, 25 points for every quarter. But 1 point's actually going to be deducted for every penny that's in that jar. We're going to have a table out here in the lobby, and that way that is so that our virtual families can also participate, as well as maybe any family that might be off campus due to COVID. And we're going to have it here in the lobby. And so students will be able to walk by, and they're going to see every class's jar. And they're going to be able to, in a spirit of friendly competition, to take away points from other classes by donating pennies inside that class's jar. And so this would be located in our atrium, so that way it's during office hours, anytime that anyone is here, that it can be dropped off. And so we are going to be doing this through November 20th. So this will be right before fall break. During the time of this coin war, we welcome recommendations from our school community about people that you personally know that are affected by childhood cancer. At the end of our service drive through November 20th, then we're going to take the proceeds from that, and we want to specifically be a blessing to those families within our own school community that are recommended to us by our school community, so we can specifically know who it is that we're reaching out and helping. And so the first big service drive for us is the UNC Children's Hospital. The second one is the coin war, in which we're wanting our students to actually participate. And the third project is actually a ministry of our church. Berean Baptist Academy is a ministry of Berean Baptist Church, and our church is hosting a food drive through Fayetteville Urban Ministries. This is a local ministry that our church often participates in, partners with, and so we actually have bins here in our atrium lobby in which we're collecting non-perishable items. And these donations will go all the way through November 18th. And so for any school family who wants to participate in that, then we would welcome you to partner with us, as we're wanting to be a blessing to our community right before Thanksgiving. And so if you have any questions, please reach out to me, and we're looking forward to seeing what we're able to do through serving others this November. Thank you, and God bless.